What's going on, everyone? My name is Boit, and we are back with I think the fifth and final game of this AoT Showdown. It's currently 2-2 in this best of five series, and we're spawning on the map Anatolia with both teams picking their top-notch best gods that they can play. Team ArmyCore and Redo picking Uranus, spawning in the bottom of the map in the teal color and blue color. Redo being blue, ArmyCore being teal. Team Set with Berserker and TheMistaa in the green color and red color, spawning at the top of the map. The map is Anatolia, so we're going to see some water action here, which means the economy is going to be stronger, more stuff is going to happen, and in general, a different style of game is going to be seen. On land, you have much less option in terms of your strategy. On water, you have like full out water battle, you have semi water battle, land attack, you have town center grabbing, like spam sort of boom into an insane mid game, and like just the extent goes on. You can semi-fast stroke, you can fast stroke, you can fast mythic, and then that sort of style multiplies when you add players, and it's 2v2. So like these players could like do a double rush on one side of the map with Prometheans, and then this guy could just fight off like his water by himself. Stuff like that would be pretty crazy. It guarantees one player will win water. What we're probably going to see from Mythista and Berserker is like a 5 dock sort of strategy, just because it's so strong. What you do is you put like 4 villages on food, 5 or 6 villages on wood, and then 5 villages on gold, and that allows you to build 5 docks and get up at like 5:30 with 20 fishing ships. It's a really strong strategy. With a Redo and ArmyCore, I expect them to do something similar. I'm not that proficient with Atlantean on water maps, but what I can suggest and what I've seen is in general like a 4:30 advance time with the Promethean push and Scout Valor to pick off docks, which is a really good response to the 5 dock strategy, because the reason you do 5 docks is because you've got 5 potential towers to shoot on water, but what happens is because there's these units attacking them on land, you can't shoot them because they're land units, and that's how it sort of works. And in any case, we'll see exactly what happens. It looks like Mythista hasn't yet grabbed his second dock. He's still sitting on the one, but Berserker's grabbed his second one. He's producing fishing ships non-stop. He's only got 4 villagers on wood, so he's actually doing the 5-minute strategy. I don't know if he's doing the 4 docks or 5 docks sort of thing, but he's got 4 villages on gold. And yeah, this is the Mediterranean style, whereby you get up really quickly with lots of docks and lots of economy. You can produce like 5 ships at once initially, and then 3 ships from there on in. Really strong. The temple going up for Redo. It looks like he's going to be hitting at about the 5-minute mark. He's not yet. I don't think he'll. Oh, he might have the temple up by that time. We do see the temple also going up for ArmyCore, so we'll have to check and see if they produce, if they start researching Prometheus really early on. I'd really like to see Mythista start producing some more docks. He hasn't yet started his temple. He does have 5 villages on gold. There's the second dock coming up. Do you see Prometheus getting researched by both players at the exact same time? So they're both doing the same 4:30 sort of rush on land with the trireme mix in. He's produced a second dock. Is that what you're going to do? It's a bit scary going out to produce the second dock with Mythista sending those boar down. You can see that Berserk is doing the same thing as Mythista, trying to prevent these docks from coming up. You see the citizen coming down right then and there to deal with that. We see the citizen coming over again, but citizens are really strong at dealing with this. They just sort of need to attack the weak units first, and then do what they want. But it looks like Mythista was a little bit slow there, and Redo's just going to retreat. Save that villager for a rainy day. See that ArmyCore. Oh, looks like his citizens in a huge amount of pain. actually not microing that to the best of your ability. What you can do is you can force fire it to stop the animation. It's like a sort of animation cancel. He should be able to kill that as well, but he's running away instead of fighting it. Oh, you need to. No, he's not going to save it. That's so unlucky. That's so unlucky for ArmyCore. He's in such a bad spot now. Losing that citizen is a really huge loss to his economy. We're probably seeing some Patar. You're not going to see Anubis from these players. These guys know how strong Patar is. Patar means you can shift sand villages, means you can shift sand onto a gold mine. It's just so many viable options. Anubis means you can control the water really, really efficiently. But in this matchup, you don't really need the snakes to deal with the water. Whereas you might, and even if you do lose water, you can sort of fall back on Shadoof and produce a bunch of farms. Monument to Village is going up for Berserker, and we do see the Bareems coming out for Redo. More fishing ships getting produced into the dock of Mythia for some reason. Not exactly sure about that. We see 5 docks up there. We see 4 docks up for Berserker. And Bareem's out as well. Berserker has hit the classical age through ties on producing a couple of these ships now. His economic management not quite at its best. Too many villages on gold, unless he's trying to do something else. Generally, you only need 7 villages on gold for this sort of strategy. The 9 villages on gold for both of these players means they can produce some more stuff on land, like barracks, something like that, some priests, all that other good shenanigans. See the cabinets now coming out for Berserker. It's very difficult to deal with the early game of the Uranus players because their ships are cheaper, they produce faster, but they're also weaker. We can see that they're trying to micro these as best as they can. What you can do with Atlantean is if your ships get attacked, you can move them side to side, and I believe the arrows miss slightly. Some of them hit, some of them don't. But most of them miss. So you can keep them alive with some sort of like Age of Empires Online style micro, which is pretty cool. We do see the docks now getting picked off by by Redo. Mythia having to deal with the 1v1 of Redo's getting a little bit out of hand. He does have a bunch of cabinets now though, so he should be able to deal with it. Berserker on the other hand, really struggling to deal with what ArmyCore is putting on. The pressure is insane. He needs to focus fire these low HP ships though. If he can pick those off, so really, really strong. Managing to shifting sands those. Where do you shift them to? I don't actually know where he shifted them to. I can't see it. Did he just shift them back? Oh, he shifted them into the base. I'm dumb. That's really, really clever. That picks off a bunch of those units. So this is why you go. This is why you go Patar in this matchup. Really, really well played by Berserker there. Incredibly smart play. And the micro fight now coming right here. You can see that under the tower fire, Mythic's actually going to win this fight quite handily. So Redo's going to have to retreat out. He's going to lose a bunch of these units down to the fire from cabinets. So those Bareems taking a bunch of pain from those docks. You can see the quick micro back, pulling Redo into the tower fire of his docks, and Redo's gonna have to retreat again, take a bunch of pain again to those hero units and stuff. Maybe losing a dock there unfortunately, but picking off a bunch of those units, bringing over the priest and the pharaoh. Again, the fight's pushing in over here. ArmyCore trying to push further down, but it looks like Berserker's water army is starting to outscale ArmyCore's. As you know, the Bareems produce faster, but they are weaker. Like it's 1 damage less, it's 50 HP less, and it's 5% pierce armor less. So Berserker can really afford to fight here and just completely pummel the army of ArmyCore. The house is getting taken down for Berserker. Berserker and Mythia are in a little bit of pain at the moment, but there's no real map control needed at the moment. They've got the 2 gold mines in their base that they need. When they start running low, you need to start thinking about grabbing that that middle control and hoping that your opponent hasn't already grabbed it. I mean, not hoping, we need to prevent that from happening, but in general, you know, shenanigans happening. We do see some nice micro here by Redo. Mythia struggling a little bit there to out-micro him. With the speed of the Uranus play, it's very difficult to outmaneuver and out-micro. We see that the fight coming in again with Berserker has so many ships, but so does ArmyCore, and Berserker ships are focusing off onto the land units there instead of onto the Bareems, but so many units dying there for ArmyCore, and Berserker is really able to deal with that. We might start seeing that second town center going up. There we go. See Redo grabbing that second town center. It's about the 9-minute mark, which is a little bit early on land maps, but you have so much wood income and gold income and food income because you have that extra fish, means you can grab it a little bit earlier. You can start booming like that. I would expect to see the same thing from Berserker. But Berserker's actually grabbing a barracks, which is a little bit interesting because ArmyCore isn't really putting on any land pressure. But what he could be considering is grabbing that forward town center with a little bit of land support and stuff like that. We see the fights continuing to mount here, but half of the Berserker's army is not in the fight. He might just be focusing on something else, unfortunately. He's moving these units back, deals with the constant pressure of ArmyCore. When these units get out, he can actually probably move those over to start dealing with that land army. The Axemen are enough with the priests to deal with those Prometheans with some micro, he'd be able to deal with that army. The fight's continuing to happen with Berserker. The Dockfire still really contributing here, but the Dock's actually getting ridiculously close to death now. But Mr. really holding his own into the top, dealing with what Redo has to offer, but Berserker actually sort of winning here. Nephthys going down for Mr. now, so he can actually get those free animals out, the Scorpion Man to deal with the land army of Redo, and also chucking that Migdal up in the middle of the map to get some land control. You don't really want to have your Axemen close to here because they have such low pierce armor that get picked off really quickly. But again, Berserker's got so many. His concave is so good and the micro is so good that he's not really losing any units. So he's managing to stay alive and just continue like winning the game just by defending. Sometimes this defense is not the best way to win, but on water in this matchup, it's sort of like a fair enough way. Like you can't really push out. You don't really have anything. Once you hit the heroic age, you've got something going for yourself. Redo now getting his third town center, so he's going to have a really insane economy coming out of this. He's constantly putting on the pressure. He doesn't really need to win water at this point, but pressuring continuously, forcing Mr. to stay on water instead of going onto the land is a really, really nice way to play this. It's going to allow him to gold starve. And continuing along, it looks like Berserker might almost be winning the water. He's managing to pick off a bunch of these units. We do see that the fight happening a little bit over here in this water, on this water's edge with those axemen and whatnot. And you see the military barracks going up in the middle of the map, right on Mr.'s gold there. See the Leviathan finally getting picked off. That might have been the second Leviathan. I need to car. Alright, so the Bareem just, it's a little bit of a stagnant fight here over at the Mr. vs. Redo sort of side. Berserker, I don't know what he's doing with these Axemen, but he might want to consider going to the heroic age. We might see ArmyCore going to the heroic age, grabbing some town centers. We do see Redo playing out of his mind this game. He's got 3 town centers, he's got water control, he's got map control, and he's in the heroic age, out of his mind. We see Horus though for Mr. doing the semi-fast heroic age that I was talking about earlier. It's whereby you fight water and you tech. It's really strong because it gets you free animals and gets you free units. With Horus, it's going to allow him to get those Axemen upgrades, which allow those to basically be Zeus hoplites. They get the bonus stuff happening. Mr. using the vision onto Reader's base using Tornado, but unfortunately the Tornado, it looks like the Tornado is going to be an extremely effective one, picking off that town center extremely quickly, and actually also picking off some citizens. How is that citizen still alive? How are you alive, citizen? Also picking off like Manas. That's like the best Tornado I've ever seen, I'm not going to lie. A little bit of a skirmish going over here, which ArmyCore is actually going to lose because the Axemen are so strong. We see the villagers coming in as well. Needs to focus fire that priest, or sorry, that Pharaoh onto the Prometheans to stop them doing so much damage. The Pharaoh in a lot of pain, but not actually getting picked off there. Mr. using the shifting sands and the ancestors to deal some pain to Redo's economy here. Really, really clever play there. He's forcing Redo out of the base here. He might even want to like move forward and build a Migdal while that's doing. Well, that stuff's happening. We see the Avenger here is going to be able to pick off a bunch of those unupgraded Mermillion. The fight's still going over on Berserker and ArmyCore's side. Berserker trying to grab that second town center. ArmyCore already on on the way to grabbing his second town center. There's also another town center somewhere on the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like Mister's also grabbed the back town center and the... Wow, this strategy from Mister is completely mind-blowing me. He's managed to take out both back town centers of Mister, of Redo, and he's even taking out this town center. So Redo's gone from playing out of his mind to like being so far behind his opponent. Mister's strategy here was insane, and it's like I don't know what to say here. Mister's going to be at 4 town centers, going on 5 if he takes out this location, and the fight here with Mister picking up all of these units. He's got the Avenger, which is so strong at this stage of the game, being so early. There's not really a lot you can do to deal with it, but it does finally get picked up. Town center manages to stay up, so Reader's still alive. Berserker finally grabbing that second town center. It's still 2 town centers to 2. With Reader still at 2 town centers, but it turns out that actually no, Reader didn't kill the town center. Like I thought he did, but he didn't. It wasn't taken. So well played by Mister there. And Berserker just trying to. I think at the moment Berserker just has to defend in order to win, because Mister looks like he's going to be able to overpower Redo in terms of that. And we see the watchtowers getting produced now. Just to hold on to this location, he can also produce a bunch of those mercenaries. Got his trade route started, and basically, if ArmyCore can push through Berserker, they win. If Mister can push through Redo, they win. So it's not as much of a weaker link. It's more the people who have the advantage at the moment. Unfortunately for Berserker, is going to lose all of these laborers due to sort of poor management there. The Ancestors does decide to get cast onto ArmyCore's army there, but ArmyCore is just going to retreat through. Oh my god, it's an Atlantean player building walls. Boom, mind blown. You've seen so much new stuff this game. This is like some next level strategy here. Generally, you don't see walls getting built by Atlanteans because the villages are so more useful. It's like sending 3 villages to build a wall. It's kind of a waste, but also it's not, because it's really strong. Okay, so the Ancestors is actually going to town on ArmyCore here, so it looks like Berserker holding his own. Mister in a little bit of pain here. He's maybe not going to be able to hold on to this location because there is a palace up producing units, and it looks like now Mister's going to trade the focus. He's going to probably trade this location for gold, which is incredibly clever because he's got this town center to equally make the 3 town centers, and it meant he didn't have to risk any sort of ridiculous fight over here. And he's also going to get a Hesperid's tree out of this, which means free units. Well, not free, they still cost 150 gold, but it's like a free population from this. So he's going to pick this location off, grab this gold mine, and there's no gold mines that Redo is going to have. Redo does, however, hit the heroic age through, sorry, the mythic age through Hecate, so he's going to be able to put some real pain onto either Berserker or Mister, whoever he decides to do that with. ArmyCore, not yet looking like he's hitting the mythic age himself, but he's only on 2 town centers to Berserker's going on 3. Looks like he's probably going to grab this one at some point. Reader going to be trying to pop up a palace on the trade route of Mister. If he manages to get that up, that's going to prevent this trade from being so effective. And you see, like, the way that these camels are moving. It's not in a straight line. It's in a wiggly waggly line. I'm just making words up all over the spot. But basically, the longer the caravan walks, the more gold you get. It's not a distance thing. It's like the longer it walks. So I guess it is a distance thing, but it's not like a straight line. You can see that Reader's actually going to be walling this off, which means that the trade route's going to walk around, and it's going to be very difficult. So again, more walls getting produced by our Atlantean players, and now that oh, and Titan Age getting researched, I missed that. And now that the Reader's army is all at the back here trying to pick off this, it allows for Mister to push in here. If he can pick off that before the Titan Gate, not quite fast enough. I was going to say if he could pick off the town center before the Titan Gate, and that'd be huge. But he's going to manage to. He's probably going to be able to pick off this town center. It's going to be huge. We do see that the fight's continuing to mount on the Berserker's front. Berserker going to have to hold on here as best as he can, trying to pick off all of these medium terma with the Migdol stronghold, tanking all that damage with the war elephants, getting that third town center up. Unfortunately, there is actually a route that these trade caravans can go through at this point, so this wall isn't actually all too helpful, but it actually makes the gold efficiency of these trade caravans even more efficient because they can walk at a further place. So it's like having more trade caravans. So Redo's actually helping out Berserker and Mythia so long as the trade doesn't get trapped here, and it's going to be really, really strong. And we do see that now Mythia's sort of proofing up his trade route by walling off this location and then this location. We do see that the town center was picked off here. It actually needs to retreat here, chucking up this Migdol stronghold, also producing some dryads to deal with the dryads of ArmyCore. If you can hold onto this location, he has gold mines, and that's always good. Having gold mines means you can build units. If you don't have a gold mine, generally it means you're going to lose unless it's a super late game. You have like a 30 supply trade route. But the double team now, some teamwork. This game has been a 1v1 for too long. The teamwork happening now. Berserker sending over his elephant to deal with, to help out. The Migdol stronghold going to get up as soon as possible. It needs to start repairing that. It does not have masons or any sort of upgrade to stop that happening. So it's going to fall to those destroyers of Redo. However, it's going to be okay. I believe that Berserker's army is going to come over here and help out Mythia. This is going to be able to do some stuff. Titan Gate now going down at the back of the base of Redo. I don't know if there's anything they can do about that. Maybe if Berserker hits the Mythic age through Horus or something, they can tornado it and prevent that from going up. But it looks like it's probably going to finish or something like that. You know, I think the Titan's going to be something they're going to have to deal with in some other way, shape, or form. ArmyCore not yet looking at the Mythic age because it's only gone on 2 town centers. It's really weird because ArmyCore's decided to play the 2 town center game, whereas Redo's got all 4. So they're putting a little bit more into the basket of Redo rather than ArmyCore here. So it looks like there's a bunch of Arcus for ArmyCore. So these units are extremely strong. They're not like Toxito. They deal a little bit more damage and they have a little bit more range. By a little bit, I mean a lot more range. And I think their DPS is higher. Like they shoot faster. I'm not sure. But basically they're just a stronger version of Toxito. But they cost a little bit more. Anyways, they're going to have to retreat out of here. It looks like Mythia has managed to defend this. Should probably grab this town center. Mythia and Berserker have managed to defend this. He needs to take this third town center so that he can start utilizing some of that economy a little bit better. Titan Gate now at 45%. This is going to be the first game we've seen a Titan. Everyone complains about these things, but this is the first game out of 5. So it's not like they're that prevalent. It's so loud. Is the game volume like too loud or something? I don't know. In any case, I'm just going to continue along here. Mythia with almost all of his economic upgrades. Berserker not quite there. And this gold mine is really getting... You can see how quickly this gold mine is going down. That's ridiculous. There's like 15 villages on that gold mine. Now he's going to start using these citizens to deal with the siege. They have a 300% bonus damage for a siege, so that's like 8 times 3, 24 damage each attack on those siege towers. So that's pretty strong comparatively to the villagers who only have a, what is it, 100% bonus? 100% bonus. But granted, they are basically 3 villages, so it's pretty standard that they will get 300 instead of 100, because it'd be pretty hard to do a siege without them. In any case, Scorpion Men now in here trying to pick some of these Mamillo. What towers getting up? If they pick off this location, then that's gold. That's like map control and gold. There's no gold left on the map. That's why there's so many units here, and that's why there's so much focus on this location. And we do see the champion upgrades now getting researched by Redo. So Redo's economy is in an insane fashion at the moment. He's managing to get everything he needs, and this location is going to get held onto, but the trade route needs to start getting thought about because Without gold, they can't produce units. And without units, how are they going to win? Anyways, priests now starting to get produced to deal with this time. Does have funeral rites. Is Mr. also going to be producing priests as well? Sorry, Berserker. I don't really see any because he needs to get a bunch more gold happening. He needs to get Axemen to deal with all of these heavy destroyers and these champion Mamilo. The Axemen are only medium Axemen as well, so it's almost like these Mamilo are stronger than the Axemen, but not quite. Not quite. In any case, Berserker moving in here. Sorry, Berserker not moving in here. ArmyCore moving in here, trying to pick off this location and grab this Titan Center. Titan now moving into the fight. You can see this Titan taking an immense amount of damage from all of these priests. The Pharaoh also here. It does it. Basically, it's a really large amount of damage. But again, this Town Center not getting taken. I'm so confused as to why you wouldn't just take the Town Center. You can see walls getting produced trying to stop this Titan from moving in. If you produce like an armory and a barracks over here, stop the Titan from moving in. If you sort of just can ignore the priest. Look, there were so many here, and they just walked right by, and he's only taken like 500 damage, 400 damage. Titans are strong. You can see that Berserk is now trying to kill off the upgraded stone gates of a really nice building placement there, but Redo just needs to attack that and can keep moving forward. We do see him kicking that off, but if Mythology just keeps on putting up these building foundations, he didn't actually manage to start building that siege workshop. So Redo going to come in here now, try and pick off this fortified town center. There is masons researched. Has he started researching architects? He has not. So this is going to go down a little bit quicker than it would normally with masons or with architects down. Architects being the I'm going to turn the game volume down because it feels too loud. I'm not sure though. Redo. This Titan is basically a distractor. It's a town center killer while we try and get more gold. So they're gonna push in. ArmyCore's got a bunch of these destroyers picking up all these watchtowers, and all these archers are gonna be able to pick off all these priests. This Titan is gonna be alive for a while. These priests are not that proficient at picking off, but you can actually block the Titan quite well. He's managed to pick off some houses. Town center goes back up. Siege workshop gets built. It forces the Titan to have to kill off these buildings again. It's so indecisive about where it wants to walk. If you just attack buildings instead of trying to move it around, it does a little bit more, but it's like Redo's trying to really focus on getting over to that town center, walking away from the priests. And we see him leaving at the moment. If he moves back into this location just to kill off all the buildings, it's going to be pretty strong. And we did see that Berserkers managed to grab that full 10 cents. A really weird choice by Mr. and Berserker, because Mr's obviously got more economy than Berserker to play with. He's also got more traits, so he might just be contributing gold in order to produce some of those. Oh, this is a problem here. To produce some of those mercenary to deal with this. This is a problem because they're going to start getting stuck, because camel caravans are really stupid creatures. They just love to bump into each other, and it's going to be right here. It's going to be really soon that this happens. They're just going to get stuck. They're not going to move. And like, I can't do anything. And as Redo moves away from the priest, that allows him to pick up this town center, and he can move over here, pick up this town center, and move over here. It's a real pain, especially because the Titans have like a move speed of 3.7 versus the move speed of 3.6 of the priest, which is a bit weird. What's the move speed of the siege tower? 2.9. Yeah, that's why they're moving so slow. He needs to sort of take these priests off the siege movement, and then he'd be able to deal with this a little bit easier. More towers going up for Redo and ArmyCore in order to contain this location. Grab that gold income while they're trying to set up their trade route. You can see the Titan again taking a bunch of pain. The walls going up though. If you can produce like a bunch of connector walls here, there's no way that Redo can move this Titan in here. Wall connectors are pretty lame though, so we'll see what actually happens. It looks like he's now deciding to pick off these priests. The Titan actually surprisingly does incredibly well against priests that are bunched up, which is why you need to use the spread formation. It's crazy because it does AoE. If you spread the priests, then they take a hell of a lot longer to die, instead of like, no, you don't spread him until he starts attacking. When he attacks them, you start spreading him. And it looks like Redo now coming in to try and take up this town center, and Mr. calling the GG, well played. Berserker tapping out as well. GG, well played. This game was really, really exciting. There was Titans, there was everything. It was a really good game to finish on. Wow. I don't know what to say. Like, The Rhino's play was really well. Man, I'm impressed by Redo's play. Actually, he played out of his mind. Mister destroyed him, like with the Patar, shifting sands onto the home location, and it was really good. I'm impressed. Well played by ArmyCore and Redo. I want to apologize for the false advertisement about MG playing today. We had 2 out of the 3 members for the game. It was supposed to be ArmyCore, Mythia, and Berserker versus Rangers, Adafang, and is it on here? Eero, or like someone. I think it was Eero. Rangers, Eero, and Adafang, but yeah, did not happen. So I don't know what's happening now. We might still get more games, so hang around. But if not, I want to thank you guys all for watching and supporting Age of Mythology. And my name's Boit. If you wanna check out some of my other videos which I've posted on YouTube, my YouTube channel is youtube.com/HellBoitTV. I'll pop that in the chat just to give myself a bit of a plug, because shameless plugging is good, right?